Let's go. What's up, everybody? What's good, fam? It's your girl, JuJu, and this is Everybody Love JuJu12 live. You already know what it is. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Today I want to talk about bracketology, and I want to talk about how it tends to affect the USC Trojans. Listen to this. The nation is finally waking up because USC Trojan women's basketball just climbed the bracket boards again. And yeah, the disrespect tour might officially be over. No JuJu Watkins, right? No problem. This squad keeps stacking wins, crushing ranked teams, and now CBS Sports Bracketology says that USC is moving up today in the article. So tonight we're breaking down seeds, matchups, tournaments, paths, and I'm telling you exactly how dangerous this team is. Before you go, if you're trying to scroll and you're like, what's up, what's going on? Do me a favor, hit that come join us for a live chat, if you will. You're free to comment, keep it respectful, no trolls. Let's talk some Trojan hoops. Let's start off. But today, I'm excited. I have been putting it in the universe, praying for a Trojan tribe. I know there are Trojans out there that have the same love and passion and understanding for the Trojans as I do. And as you know, I was gone last year, JuJu sophomore year. I saw one game. I was at home caring for my ailing mother as a caregiver. And now I've returned back on here live. And I told myself, and I told the girls too, I said, I'm going to be at every single game. I'm going to be right here supporting you. I don't care win, lose, or draw. And yeah, so I've been going to the games. I've been meeting people, networking. I've been stopped and asked, "Are you Everybody Loves JuJu?" It's so funny. That's how they call my name. And I'm always scrolling TikTok. I'm always scrolling Instagram, X. I got a bunch of girls over on fan club. What's up, fan club? But I saw someone one night on TikTok, scrolling TikTok. Had no business in TikTok because all I'm doing is buying shit. I'm over here.
It gets me too.
Buying shit. I'm like, and I saw someone with the Trojan gear, head to toe. I was like, wait, hold up. And it wasn't just like, you were just talking. So without further ado, you know me, I just stepped out and said, what's up? We'll find out. We vibe the same about the Trojans. I mean, like, good golly. I mean, let me introduce you. So I want to introduce my new co-host, hopefully. Fingers crossed, right? Right up here on the panel today, and we're going to talk about USC moving up. What's up, RC? What's up, RC? I want to introduce you to my chat fam, to YouTubers, to all of you on social media that are following me. This here right here is LDR.
What's good, y'all? What's up, y'all? What's good? It's a pleasure to be here. To join. For JuJu to have me on. I have been a Trojan fan for maybe a long time. Probably just a little shorter in length as far as I've been a Laker fan. Like that's how far I go back with the women of Troy. For me, it all started with Cheryl. Like for a lot of us, it did. It started with Cheryl. It starts with Cheryl.
Okay.
My introduction to USC women's basketball was Cheryl, the McGee twins, Coop, and at that time, nobody was even really talking about Coop like that. It was Cheryl and the McGee twins. Coop was she was a role player. She wasn't the Coop that we now know her to be, but she was a role player on that squad.
But she was tough, though.
No, she was tough, taking nothing away from her. But, most people don't know that. People who just, Coop. They know the Houston Comets Coop after she left SC, went and played overseas and came back with a grown woman game on girls. So yeah, so for me, that's how I charted it. It all begins with Cheryl.
It all begins with Cheryl. And where are you at now with the Trojans? Who's your Trojans?
I mean, it's JuJu. It's JuJu. I mean, JuJu is the reason why I went ahead and dropped the money on, came back and committed to season tickets and all that. It was
whoever did that.
Yeah, it's JuJu. It's all JuJu.
JuJu got my hard-earned ass money.
Man,
I got Funko Pops.
I got the Funko Pop too.
I got a basketball. With a signature, got a collectible basketball, then a collectible photo, stupid shit. Two jerseys, sweat hoodies. Listen. Who does that? You're a grown ass woman, doesn't it?
Right, exactly.
But I love hoops, goddamn it.
Right.
Like you could how come men can collect Funko, play NBA 2K all damn day,
right?
Fortnite, but I can't do this?
I mean,
let's
be honest.
Collectible cards, that's what I'm gonna do.
No, the city has not, and even with and nothing to take away from Cheryl and her time in that time, because it's a different time period, there's different things that were available. But this is like the first time that the city has been excited about USC women's basketball. Like on this level.
Now let's go back to who was first? Lisa and Tina. We came back, right?
They came back, but Lisa and Tina weren't drawing people to the games that JuJu's drawing to the game.
Right.
Like, and it was also a different time as well. Like, you didn't have the TV packages. You didn't have, you didn't have the opportunities and the visibility that is now granted to women's basketball. But, the SC women's games are looking like how the Sparks games used to look back when they first started at the Forum. Like, Celebrity Row. Like, it has that vibe. Like, that's what it reminds me of how the Sparks games were in the early 90s when the Sparks were in the Forum and the league was just starting. Like, that is the energy and the vibe at a game for USC women's basketball.
Right.
And if you were around back then, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You're not having that type of fun across town.
No.
Over by the 405. You're not having that type of engagement and that type of fun.
No, you're not. And I heard Lauren Betts say when asked a question. Oh, wait, hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
you can hear me. She said they asked her, who would you like to see attend your game? And all the players were given. And she said Michael B. Jordan. And I sat back and like, we already did that.
We already had that. Been there, done that.
Like, been there, done that.
You
know what I'm saying? And so part of, every I would say everybody has a culture in their arenas, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Could be the X factor of the crowd. Could be the number of people in the crowd. I'm naming things that could be culture and intimidating. And you have to understand, when people come from a small southern town, college, or and that includes LSU, that includes South Carolina, that includes, and then you're from a rural area like in Iowa, Indiana, things like that. All they ever see is Hollywood on TV, right? So part of our X factors, when you walk into, you might play in front of LeBron. You might play, JuJu's played in front of LeBron, like
Ron, Michael B. Jordan, Kevin Hart, Raphael Sadiq just recently. Like, it's been Candace Parker, Tina Thompson, like Cheryl Miller.
Every day.
Like, it's been, and Cheryl's there religiously. Like, Cheryl might miss maybe 2-3 games a season at most, but Cheryl is at the games, supporting, which I think is, I give Coach Lindsay, so much credit for how she's made a conscious and deliberate effort to bring back the previous generation and talent and players of SC to be involved with this program. And it looks like, you know, the players are are getting mentorship from former players. Because, you know, when you're watching the game, you can see Cheryl over there talking to him in the midst of the game. With the timeout, like she's quick to be like, hey, in your ear.
Yeah,
this, watch for this. She's talking to him. She's, you know, she's giving them in-game analysis and advice on, hey, if they're doing this, you counter with this. Like, if they're doing this, you know, you need to go to this. And you can tell that's what she's doing just by her body language. You know, Cheryl is animated. You're not, you know, Cheryl is not hard to read, which I've always loved about her. She's straight up. She's gonna call a spade and call it what it is. And so you can see that, you know, she has relationships with those players.
Absolutely. The access that a player receives from just attending, choosing or committing to USC, not only are you going to get a great education, you're going to get, you know, after you graduate college, how many of you are really mentored or affected by your college in your, you know, after college? Who can you reach back to? What professor or other alumni are around you? And to have that in your back pocket in Los Angeles is huge.
Yeah, that
it's a family. It's a lot of Trojans out there. Lawyers, doctors, attorneys.
That USC reaches long within this city. And it's long, like, and I mean, and you can say the same
business,
and you can say the
Hollywood,
same,
Hollywood, come on,
and you can say the same for UCLA. Like, their alumni network is strong as well. Like, you know, if you go to school at either one of those schools, you decide you want to stay in the city, you know, you can pretty much kind of write your own ticket, because Bruins look out for Bruins and Trojans definitely look out for Trojans.
Facts. And not only just that. While you're in school, now that we have the ability to reach out and touch them, you know, you got NILs and you got brands that can reach out to you. It's sort of great because, like, let's say WNBA isn't your goal, but you got a pretty face. You know, you might get a brand deal with Canes.
Well, yeah,
and I mentioned that because Malia has that now.
Yeah, you can. I mean, it's such a, you know, when people talk about, oh, I don't like this, and I'm like, man, I look at it like that, like Jay-Z, right? I'm paying them back for what they did to the Cold Crush. And so for all those years that, you know, athletes, I was a student athlete. I couldn't have a job while I played.
With a full scholarship.
Not with a full scholarship. You couldn't have a job. And so the fact that you are now able, and we know, especially with women, the percentage of women who are going to continue on professionally is even smaller and lower than it is for men. And so now you have the opportunity to earn money for whether you want to go to grad school and pay for it. If you, you know, don't have a scholarship program worked out for yourself where you're going to get, you know, a graduate degree like a lot of them are doing because they have another year of eligibility left and they transfer to another school and get their master's on the school, which I'm like, do it. But you now have a way, whether it's you want to pay for your education, if you want to, you know, further your education, you want to buy a house where you're from or buy some property, you want to start a business, you now have the ability and money and the capital to do that. And so I'm like, why are y'all?
It's like you're starting off with 60,000 maybe for the lowest player, I don't know, in your account, maybe 100.
Right, exactly. And so I'm like, what is wrong with that? And especially if you're doing deals that are in alignment with things that you like, things that you do, products you already use, what's the problem? What's the problem? I'm like, you guys aren't mad when coaches are getting 5-6 years deals for $100 million, but
when I found out about that,
but the labor, because technically that's what they are, the labor, because they are the labor. Yes. The labor can't get money. Okay, like I don't even argue.
Makes no sense. You took up 4 hours of my damn day. 4 hours. Okay.
And that's not counting going out to go to class.
Pay. I can get that done by financial aid probably, but let's not go there.
And it's not a guaranteed 4-year scholarship. It has to get renewed every year. It has to get renewed every year, and that's 4 hours, and you're not even counting the time you have to go to class. Like we haven't even factored that in. That's just basketball. That's just your sport. You haven't even.
I'm talking about training, recovery, film. We had a sports psychologist. We had to do visualization. You know, we had to keep a journal. We had, and then we got practice.
Right.
So, and they can only go about 2 hours, I think, of full on practice. But
all
the stuff from the from the beginning to after I'm telling you, it's about 4 hours.
Yeah.
So my point to say is that I'm not even going to get into that debate right now about Coach Lindsay. I am reading your comments. But I wanted to say welcome to you, LDR. Thank you for joining me today. USC is moving up. We're climbing the brackets. And I just wanted to have some debate, some questions to drive this conversation a little bit by asking my chat, asking you a question. So listen up. This is my question. Is USC actually better balanced without JuJu right now?
That's an interesting one. I would say this is where my concern lies, right? And I talk about it, when I've gone and done my videos. Is there offensive efficiency? Like no one's really, you don't have. I can't really point to three players every game that I know are going to score in double digits.
Consistent.
They're not consistent. Like the fact
I think we're getting up to 1 to 2 a little bit.
We're 1 to 2, and this is how I gauge it. We need to be
3, 4.
Yeah, this is how I gauge it. Like it's that Iowa game by far is the best they played all year.
Yeah, that was all 4.
And they had
maybe
3 players.
4.5.
They had 3 players in double figures before we got midway through the third, which is something that has not happened consistently. Like they wouldn't have 2 players in double figures some games till the fourth quarter. And LDR.
Last year, who were the 4 that were in that? I think we did something with this team that we haven't seen in 2 years.
This team,
it's not a put down to JuJu.
No.
This is actually a benefit to JuJu,
and
because she's not going to stop getting hers.
No, this is where my concern with this team lies right now. I have concerns about the bench. We do not have the depth that we need on the bench, and losing Hal and you losing K9, that hurt because they kind of solidified that bench with Malia.
Yeah.
And so I have concerns there. I also have concerns with our lack of size. We have length and athletic ability, but we have no girth. We long, tall and length, but we have no width. And when it comes time to the tournament, I think that's going to hurt us. I think that's going to hurt because the bigs that we have, they're very young and they're very athletic, but they're still learning how to control their body.
Yeah.
And so those are my concerns because I just...
Yeah.
Those are the concerns.
Okay. What are not your concerns?
What are not my concerns? I'm liking the way we're playing defense and our turnovers. We have a lot less turnovers this year than we did last year. I mean, they were turning the ball over so much last year, but JuJu had a lot of turnovers. So you attribute it. You don't have JuJu on the floor, so that cuts down.
But you got Jazzy doing kind of about the same amount.
But you got But I was impressed with that's something I've been impressed with them so far all season is their ability to not lose the ball too much. Like last game was bad because they had almost 20 turnovers
in the first half, right?
But that Iowa game, I mean they had 5 turnovers the entire game, and they didn't get. Then they went into I think halftime with maybe 2 or 3. It was insane. I was just like, oh my God, this is great. And the other thing, when they do it, because they don't do it against everybody, when they pressure the ball. They're a very tenacious team on defense when they go into that press.
Yes.
And that's something that's
and
carried
I
over
have
from
been
last year.
hollering at the games and on my show here, Lindsay, I know it's not Rhea, Ju, Leah, but these girls are no different than any of the other girls out there. That's a special group you had. This right here, they need to press. You need to press. You knew you were down. Muck it up a bit, because they mucked it up to get to where they are, caught up to us or pulled away. And that's because they put the pressure. And as a Trojan, we fight on. That's what our motto is. We defense will win you games. And
defense wins championships.
And rebounds win championships. I say rebound.
Defense and rebound. No rebound,
defense
no ring.
Wins, and then rebounds win championship. But my point about this defense with them is that it part of the Trojan basketball is to either turn you over so that we can get our transition game going, or if you didn't turn it over, then now you've only got 14 seconds or less on the clock. That's the goal. 10 is really better. We want to tie you up so badly that when you get across the line, now your offense has to be rushed. Don't let the other team set the pace, which is what Rutgers, for instance, was doing in the beginning. They actually were setting the pace. Second thing I want to ask you, because you mentioned defense. So as you know, in the rounds 32, 16, 8, 4, 2 to 2, the first two rounds is what this show is about, the brackets that we're in. Every other day or whatever it is, after the games, they update the brackets, and we were as high as predicted before, down to I've seen us as low as 10. Today we rose. The Iowa win, and the fact that those that are above us just in our conference haven't played UCLA yet. And then another thing that made us so talented in this bracket, and the conversation that was spoke on us by CBS Sports, was that, hey, look at these Trojans. Look what these Trojans have done. Hold on, let me try to find it real quick. But look at what these Trojans have done, to the point where he highlighted us and gave us love, because if we went out, I think it was saying, I wanted to read it. I mean, we went from 1-6 to flipping that, like to go above 500. And so we have a chance. Let's just start with just this week to get 2 more wins, right?
Yeah. And so Northwestern on Thursday.
Northwestern and who?
Oh gosh, hold on.
I can't remember who it was.
Let me double check, because I was doing my Northwestern research.
Northwestern, they're like barely could get the ball up the court.
Yeah, but you know what? I was looking up doing some like a stat breakdown on them.
Before you say that, let me read real quick.
Illinois. We play Illinois.
That's the one, because we got to talk about that. So this is what CBS said. What to watch? Can USC build a Big Ten win streak? No team, talking about us, in the country has played a tougher schedule this season than USC, which has faced the number 1 team, the number 2 team, the number 4 team, the number 6 team, the number 8 team, the number 10 team, and 12 teams in the net without JuJu Watkins. Teams aren't penalized much for individual losses against top opponents, but this time last week, USC was 11-9 on the season, despite a net ranking in the top 25. The Trojans' NCAA tournament hopes were starting to be questioned following a 1-6 stretch, as teams with records near 500 rarely receive at-large bid. But USC responded with a signature win over Iowa before holding Rutgers to just 39 points on Sunday. And by the way, that's about 3 points less than JuJu and them did last year. With a favorable schedule over the next 2 weeks, USC has a chance to continue to solidifying its resume and build toward, this is the part I want you to hear, toward a 5 or 6 seed, closer to where we were predicted at the beginning of the season. And that's exactly the beginning of the season. I had us fourth, right? 4th seed. And the way we fell off all the way to like 10, but
well,
as of
getting knocked out of the we're getting knocked out of the national rankings, because they had that skill.
But that doesn't mean that you're not in the tournament, right?
No. But but we all knew that, they were going to take a hit. And to be honest, the way they were playing early in the season, I knew we were going to drop out the top 25. I even told a few people, I was like, they're going to drop out the rank.
But wasn't that part Levy at the injury and loss of Kennedy, or no?
I think it's been a combination of things. I mean, I think what people fail to realize, not only did we lose JuJu, but we lost pretty much everybody from that team.
Yeah.
So the only 2 people back from that squad are Kennedy and Malia. Everybody else is new.
I mean, Laura was a red shirt.
Yeah, they weren't.
Brooke and Ryan, they don't get much action.
Yeah, Brooke was there, but she wasn't getting any action. Right. Neither was Ryan. So if you're talking about the rotation of who was playing, it was only Kennedy and Malia are back. So it's, it took a minute, of course, for them to gel. It's new players coming from other systems, having to get comfortable playing each other. And, people who don't play ball, I think, try to minimize this, but team chemistry is important. Absolutely. You have to have the chemistry. I should be able, if you play with somebody long enough, know where they're going to be before they even get there. And you're going to make sure the ball is where they want it, how they want it. You just literally leading them into the pass. All they got to do is run into it, walk into it, whatever. And I don't think, people who don't know ball undervalue that. And that's a big component of it. So I think one is taking it to them, they pretty much the entire team that played last year was gone, except for 2 players. This is basically, in essence, a new team. They're learning a system some of them might not have played in, and you have to get to know each other. And then also, I think, there's been a confidence thing. You're just now seeing Dunn become who, we were told who she was and what she was going to contribute to the program. Yeah. And I think, Jazzy came in a little bit thinking, because JuJu's out, I have to carry more of a load. And so, I think she was taking on more responsibility than probably she necessarily needed to initially. But, we needed her offensive production, and she did that for the first half of the season. Kennedy being out always hurts, especially on the defensive side. When she didn't play last year against Notre Dame, I knew we weren't going to win that game because we didn't have her. We
had just got to a point where we were gelling, and we had a cold ass press. Winning the first game in Paris told me all I needed to know. Kennedy
does a lot of things that don't show up on stat sheets.
Talk that talk.
She does a lot of things that as a coach you will always appreciate and praise her.
She'll be always starting out
that nobody that a media person might not praise her for. Go ahead. Might not praise her for, or people who don't really know ball. But Kennedy does a lot of little things, especially on defense. I love her defense. She can guard 1 through 4 if she has to.
See, here's the thing. With Coach Gottlieb, and I'm going to read these comments after I say this. Okay. What Coach Gottlieb and what USC attempts to do, and what everybody across the country is starting to know to do, even in the pros. And remember that Coach Gottlieb, and I'm going to remind you, was an NBA assistant coach for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Okay. So basically, you want players that your guards can play 1 through 3. You are blessed. So everybody who's looking at next year, Jazzy, Kennedy, JuJu, Sanaya. Wow, you got 4 guards. No, we have 4 guards that can play 1 through 3, and you just said 1 through 4. Second thing, don't worry about that, because we play a read and react offense. We are positionless basketball. There's no 1, 2, 3, 4. You can have that in your mind, but know that our mission and our goal is that you have to be able to dribble. If you look at the beginning of the season, Carol anxiously look after a rebound to pass it to a guard. They wasn't used to, hello, sweetheart. We don't do that. You can drive. You can dribble. Couple of other bigs, others were doing it. Kennedy didn't used to like to dribble the ball up last year.
No,
look at her now.
She didn't, but she didn't have to.
Look how she grew.
She didn't have to. Look at all the guards they had.
No, but think about this. When she would do it intermittently, or she would do it, then her dribbling the ball up, her having a man that usually guards her, has to come up. So what the read and react does is designed to catch the defense, not set up.
Off balance,
that's why Ju takes it. That's why Jazzy takes it. That's why we take it out the net. Having those players, we're going to take it out the net. We're going to go because we're trying to beat you down before you set up. That's what I saw. That's Trojan basketball. And that's what we saw at Iowa. Let me read the comments. RC, I said hello earlier. What's up, y'all? WashU, I hope you're still here. Brazil, hey, girl. WashU, Brazil, not girl, is a guy. WashU, okay. Chicago. RC again. I was trying to be funny. I'm a dude that didn't play sports in college yet. Oh, something was said in the chat. We always do that to Brazil. Pat Summit offense sells tickets, defense wins games, and rebounding wins championships. That's right, Henry. That's how it goes.
Spot on.
I read her book. Hey, Juju, what's up, B. Will? What's good, chat? What's good, Miss D? This is my co-host, LDR, born and raised in Los Angeles, LA, knows hoops, been a lover of the Trojans since Cheryl Miller, and we're just talking about how USC is moving up. We talked last week, a couple of weeks ago, I was asked, do you think the Trojans will make the tournament? First of all, no matter how bleak it looks or crazy, I know Coach G. And Coach G has been to 8 NCAA championship and multiple appearances in tournament basketball since she was a coach, even back to, I believe, Santa Barbara. I'm saying that to say that I don't doubt Coach G. And I know that she's gonna get her team, the team, acclimated and ready for the next level. What the country needs to worry about, since I know that we're the third most viewed team, I keep saying that to you guys, team on television in college basketball, without JuJu Watkins, maybe to see JuJu on the bench, I don't know, could be. Or just how we're gonna do. You guys got one eye over here on us and eye on whatever you're looking at, because you know that the Trojans are dangerous. Not only are they dangerous now, we're dangerous later. When you get through this gauntlet, the SEC is going to get through, and others in the Big Ten are going to get through, and 12 and ACC and all that. Let me tell you, you got to hope that you got all your players on the right side
and healthy.
And I mean it, like healthy, right in their mind.
Right in mind.
You guys, it's look at South Carolina yesterday. That game, Texas A&M, if they had just an ounce of more power, could have knocked South Carolina over. Because when you knock the imbalance of losing a 1 player, 2 player, 3 player, Agot Maker being injured, Tanai Lasson being injured, they look like a regular team down there. It took Joyce Edwards. So people that are waiting on playing them, like a LSU, a Mississippi State, a Tennessee, they are salivating right now.
Well,
because that's going to help their cause.
There's the most competitive conference is the SEC. Nobody comes out of conference play unscathed. Nobody's going to go through.
I don't think anybody comes out of our conference either. Unscathed.
No, they don't. But I think that level of competition in the SEC is on a whole. It's on a whole nother.
You got to come with your best.
You every day, because anybody can knock you off. It could be Alabama that knocks you off, and Alabama might not even be ranked or.
Shit. Absolutely. And, we have UCLA's coming up. UCLA at our conference, as you know, is undefeated. And they still haven't played Michigan State.
I know they still thought they win Andy and
who else? Wait, your phone. Hold on. Say it again. Your mic.
You hear me?
Acting up. Yeah. Okay. Turn it up a little bit. The mic.
Hold on. Is that better?
I don't know why it started echoing. It's like echoing. Coming back out. Yeah, whatever you need to do, I'm here. We're still here. It might be the headphones. Can you hear me through the speaker of the?
Yeah,
because sometimes the headphones interfere. I don't know why. Somebody said that.
I took them out. No, I was saying with UCLA, I'm still not completely sold.
But here's and that's okay. You know what? That's okay. I might say something that might change your mind, and I may not. But here's why UCLA, for me, could be the most logical choice of playing UConn in the finals, is the fact that you got the 5 pros that are going pro. You know, the 5 seniors, and they're very balanced, and they're big, and they played together. What you were mentioning earlier about chemistry and all of that really drives.
But this is why I'm gonna tell you why I'm not sold. Okay, so they lack lateral quickness.
Okay, and athleticism.
Yeah, I'm not going to even say the athleticism. They lack lateral quickness, and when you start getting in the tournament, and you know they're going to come up against some SEC teams, and they are not going to be able to guard those guards. And if you have a big who can step out and shoot, they're going to pull Lauren away from the basket, and she's prone to foul trouble, and she cannot guard one-on-one on somebody unless she's right there in that paint.
Okay, hear me out.
I'm still not sold, and I know I'm a little biased because I'm not a UCLA fan. I don't root for them anything, even if it's a California team and they're the only California team and they're playing somebody from another state. I'm a root for the team in the other state. I don't root for UCLA. Like I am, when I say fight on is in my heart and in my spirit and my soul. I do not root for UCLA in anything.
I told him the other day. I said, "Let me tell you, UCLA, USC is like," and I hate to compare it to the gangs,
yes,
but it's the Bloods and the Crips.
It is. It's the original gang banging of Los Angeles. Is SC and UCLA.
Everything I'm joking.
No, that's
I told him last year.
real.
after JuJu got hurt, and I was live. I was like, I just froze, and I said, "They better escort them to the bus." I was like, "They're gonna need to escort." They was like,
to relive and talk about that. That was so.
People told me that were there. There was on the inside gangs. Like, I don't want to put this on Ju, but I'm just saying, you from West or whatever. You the queen, you the princess. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. I was like that. I was like, if you saw the movie Killer and the Bee, and the gangsters was out there talking about "Go Keela," they was like that with me with basketball. I was like, they stopped shooting dice. Wait a minute, there she go. That's the little one that played ball. You know what I'm saying?
But on another side note, I love Akilah and the Bee. I went and saw that movie in the movie theater. Love that movie.
It's one of my favorite movies.
I love that movie.
It's one of my. When I heard that part, it made tears come down my eyes because I remember how my brother's big friends and just the neighborhood. When the neighborhood got your back like that, it's crazy.
It's like if the neighborhood, the community sees you have a special skill set,
they got you
really good at something.
Yeah,
they're gonna make sure you stay on the right path, even if they're not. They're gonna pull you to the side. Yeah. Don't be out here doing this.
Yeah.
Why are you out here? You're supposed to be at home. Don't make me tell your mother. Don't make me tell, but that's what it is. If you have a special skill, whether it's athletic,
they want to see
something.
Somebody that they can get behind, brag about.
Yep.
And that's what Lisa, I think it was Lisa or Cheryl was explaining, especially probably Lisa, that JuJu is a LA girl. The way she talks, the way she acts, she's laid back, she's calm. Mm-hmm. You can't really ruffle her feathers, but believe me, in her mind. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've seen her catch herself, say a few words. You get her. Now, back in the day, she was da. But y'all have never seen that. Mm-hmm. You have to be from LA. I was in a barbershop with my godson getting his haircut, and a man that used to officiate her when she was 11 was like, when I heard you blow up, and then I saw her on TV, I said, let me see what she's like. Because what she was when she was a kid, she shot all the time. She wouldn't pass the ball, and she was like very talkative and argue with the ref. But I was like most kids.
Yeah, I mean, you have to learn how to regulate and control your emotions.
Look how far she's come, because you would never know that. You would never see that.
She rarely gets emotional. The most I've seen her emotional is the UCLA games, and especially that one last year in Pauley when she
smiled. Because I rewatched it today because it was the anniversary of the 51 points. Okay. She started smiling when like, you fouled me again, and I'm about to get 50 and 51. And because the bench made her laugh because they were going nuts. They were absolutely, going nuts. And so after she made it, they ran out. You would thought they won the championship, and that's what I love about the team her freshman year, because they were all mature.
That was a special group.
They really poured into her. They poured into her and brought her out more than people want to realize.
That was a special group. And I remember telling people, I was like, look, you need to start watching this squad. Like everything that they were doing, I knew they were going to do. I knew they were going to have that deep tournament run because, you could see it. I was like, this is a special team. And like they had,
and we didn't have no perfect record, LDR.
But they had
21-6 or something.
But they had, everybody played their role and everybody knew what their role was. And they bought into it and played their role. Like that was that squad, her freshman year was a special group.
Mm-hmm. It was and we weren't laden with McDonald All-Americans. And another thing I want to say in favor of Coach G, she built the team. She didn't inherit a team. She built the team. Gino and Don built their team, but it took the two of them 9 and 10 years. Well, she built this team down near to a championship in 4.
Yeah, Coach Summit she built all that in Tennessee too. Like it's a brick by brick.
It takes time. Yeah. So it's like, which cracks me up because, but Coach G could do this better, could do better. Guess what? She can only do with what she can do with what she has. She had a 18-year-old, who turned 19 with hopefully Rhea, and we went as Rhea went, by the way, and we could talk about that.
She was always
and Kiki
last year. Both, yeah.
It was how Rhea was gonna. How was she? And when she wasn't playing well, how does Kiki fill that in? And then how does JuJu come in? They wanted this pick and roll. Like we are not Utah. We're not John Stockton and Karl Malone. We don't play that kind of basketball. Stop trying to put them in this. Why don't they have a 2-man game? We don't. That's not how we play. Watch and learn. And the style of basketball that she's gonna have, you're finally going to see because she finally has the talent to do it.
But you know what I would like to see Ju do more of, and she was starting to do it last year?
Yeah.
Let her post up.
Yeah, I seen her do it a few times when it's cold. When she go out there to Indiana, when she be going out there to those schools,
let her post up because it eliminates the ability when everybody would jump out on her and when they would trap her when she'd come across half court with the ball. If you put her in the post and let facilitate from there, it's going to limit the ability.
She did that more her freshman year than her sophomore. I noticed.
Yeah, but it's effective when you let her post up.
But you see how they're doing it now with Kara and Kennedy. It's like it's the same offense, but
Kennedy's more effective when she posts up. Let Kennedy post. She's much more effective when she's.
But it's not let. It's tell the players. It's not that it's not in the repertoire. It's not that. It's not part of the repertoire. It's about the players remembering, oh, yeah, I can do this. Because it was funny because Kara in the interview was like, oh, if I knew that. Oh, I mean, she said something really cute, but kind of like, Kara, the name of the game is to shoot. She didn't know because when you have to untrain yourself, as you mentioned, from another system to this system. Mm-hmm. She didn't know like, oh, I can shoot a lot.
Right. Yeah.
Like, yes.
That's what we thought you came here to do.
That's what we thought you came. That's what we want you to do.
Is the way you were sold to us, and as coming in from the transfer program, that you were this prolific scorer, that you were a scorer, you were a shooter. So in that first half of the season, I'm like, what's going on?
So shoot, that's what we're saying. We personally do agree with you that Kennedy has all the skill sets.
She has the skill sets. It's just a matter of she's going to unlock it. And the only person who can unlock that is her. And probably that's why I probably get the most frustrated of any player on that team. I get the most frustrated with Kennedy for that very reason, because I'm like, I know you can do, like, what are you doing? Like, come on. Yeah. Like, I need her, she's got a little hitch in her shot she needs to fix.
It's a little hitch. It's also, I think, I've been this close, because you see, I don't know if you ever see me talking to her. I've been this close to saying something, but I knew that the knees kind of messed up. And so she kind of pushed the right leg a little bit further. Then it's kind of like, instead of that bounce that she normally has, this bounce. And I wanted to cut her nails down a little bit.
Yeah, it's here. It's in her release.
It's in the wrist.
Yeah, it's in her release too. Like the shots she makes when it's like nothing but net, her release is right. The shots where it's like she flicks it instead of a nice smooth follow through. But you can tell. I'm like,
what? Oh, Kyrie, this is LDR. You talking about LDR? You know exactly what LDR means. For those of you who have just joined, I have a new co-host. Welcome anytime she can, or we'll discuss, maybe coming up often. Is LDR from Los Angeles. Yes, a fan since Cheryl Miller days. So
yes, nice to meet everyone who just popped on and is joining us. But yeah, so yeah, that's probably why I'm like, I get the most frustrated, because I know she has it, and the defense,
she does too. But that's the thing, she gets frustrated. We're trying to help. I don't want us to pile on to her, like if she ever were to come through here, because she's such a she's hard on herself. And that's the thing. She's trying to let stuff go quicker. I noticed. She said.
But I'm really liking her in this facilitator role.
I love it.
That she's assuming this year, because I feel like
she dribbles more.
Yeah, I feel like that's been an area where they've also lacked. And because, I know you like positionless basketball, but I will never, ever say there is not validity, importance of having a point guard on that floor.
No, there's always a validity in it. And but remember, it's you can have that point guard, but you can also have a point guard that can be a combo and can be a small.
Oh yeah, no,
and we're blessed with that. That's what all I'm saying is that.
Yeah.
There needs to be consistency, but also it's in our high-powered offense and defense. It's very hard for someone to go as hard as Malia or London goes at their size. For 30 minutes, 40 minutes. And that's why they split. If you're ever wondering, anybody's ever wondering, like, and Malia, I think since the first game, I told her, you can shoot.
She shot a lot. She was shooting a lot more last
year. I watched the game, and I implore all of you guys to go to the game in March when we were in the tournament.
She hit some key shots in that.
Leah was doing for about consecutively. She got, I think, 3 boards back to back to back. She threw it to you, man. She got the rebound again. She was just like, I don't know. She was like a little, and then she threw it. And then she threw it to Ken. She threw it out 3 times until finally the 4th time was like, God damn it, I'm taking it to the hole, and she made it. Mm-hmm. And that I remember because there was a time where Malia hadn't seen the court for a minute. Like she hadn't made a shot since February.
Yeah.
And then she goes to March 1st, she goes to UCLA and she hit her first shot. And then something sparked right before the tournament.
Sometimes you just need to see it go in.
It was more health confidence and whatever because she was kind of slipping and messing up a little bit. And and so Coach G discreetly will not play you if you're if you're off, but it's not as a punishment. It's like, I got to go to the next. I can't, we can't afford this drop off. Mm-hmm. I got to sit you. And so if K9 felt that way, which I think she didn't understand, it's like you got offended by that. You are selfish, because if I'm doing crappy right now, take me out. If somebody else got it going until I can get the cobwebs out of my head or whatever, or figure out what I need to do to impact this game and stop making mistakes and not being where I'm supposed to be. The thing you have to be is what's best for the team. Right. If it's me not shooting or me shooting, whatever it looks like for JuJu on down, JuJu knows that, because if JuJu wasn't having a great game shooting, I noticed she might got you 13, 14 boards.
Yeah, but that's how at least that's how I was taught. If your shot is off, then you pick it up in some other area, whether it's on defense, whether it's on on boards, like facilitate. You're passing the ball, getting assists, giving the ball to the person who's high, who's actually has the ability to score, and the shots are falling. Then that's what you do. So I mean, that's that's par for the course. Everything is not always the basket is not always going to look like the ocean, where everything you throw up falls. And even on layups and chippies, sometimes you're doing everything right and it's not falling. It's like that. Some nights you might go 1 for 12, 2 for 13.
But real hoopers, fans like us, we could tell those shots just didn't fall. They were good shots. Keep taking them; they're going. But like RC said, here's the thing on this show, and what it's about is the climb. Okay, we had dropped to like 10th seed. We are now 7th with a goal of 5 to 6, but the original was 4. And yes, RC said he looked at our schedule and we see that we end the season versus each other, meaning UCLA. We're okay. Can't wait for that showdown. I know you're going to bring in a match. We're gonna bring in a better game because we're going to be at the Galen. True. However, more importantly than facing them and catching them off guard or not, I don't want that game to affect us moving forward. We need to win out on a ranked Illinois and a ranked Ohio State. Don't sleep on Northwestern.
And Ohio State is not to be slept on.
Indiana.
No.
Penn.
None of them.
So, yeah, when we come back up Thursday.
Right now has 3 players who are shooting well over 30% from the 3-point line on Northwestern. And one is almost at 40% from the 3-point line. Like, so it's not nothing. There aren't any games for the rest of the schedule that are just give-me's. And it's really important how they play this month, because you need to carry over. And as you know, you could have played crappy all first half of the season, but if you get in rhythm in February and carry that into March, anybody can win. Anybody can become.
I'm gonna throw a hot take out here. I don't know if I believe that Gino had 6 players actually really that hurt. I feel like the Genos, the Don, even Don, Coach G. I haven't really seen it with LSU.
LSU is
what I'm going to say is I think they do load management. I don't know that Maker really and tonight are really that hurt. I think there's some bang up, some knick-knack, and there's some things that they know that they need to rest these players, because from here on out, as you mentioned, February, 1 game mark, we're going into tournament play. Everybody got to be healthy.
You got the rest of your conference play, then you have conference championship, and then you going into the tournament. And you do not want to go into the tournament not in sync and on
now you better be healthy.
You got to be healthy. Your team needs to be in rhythm, because the teams that are high ranked that go in there and they're not in rhythm, they're the ones who get upset. Where you're like, how did this number 1 ranked team? And be like, they were coming into the tournament and they were not in sync as a team, and they were not playing well, and they were not looking right. I can't say that about UConn, because they ain't missing a beat. They're not missing a beat, but this is my one thing with UConn. And I said this last year about UCLA, and I was completely right. This is my thing about UConn. UConn does not really play anybody once they get to conference. The Big East is the worst conference in women's basketball. The only team in the Big East is UConn. So I always question teams like that. And that was my thing with UCLA last year. Your strength of schedule. You're not playing anybody.
Okay, let's talk about that. Everybody puts down LSU constantly. And I said, well, she's won with it. So why are you guys still questioning her schedule when she knows she has young players? Most of the time, Moki done got 5 new people that she needs, to build confidence, or they're young or what have you. And why are you questioning this woman who has 1 championships as a player, One as an assistant coach, one as a head coach, one as an Olympian, one with a different team. But you give Dawn all the utmost respect in the world, but you don't, not you, people don't give her the respect that LSU deserves. That let the woman do it her way. She's got a lot of young players, and most importantly, you want to give them an opportunity to gain confidence. I think also get rhythm, get all that. However, your theory, I don't doubt it, because I would take our strength of schedule. As I mentioned, we played 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 10, and 12. And that's why we're in the net ranking. And I think some of those hard-ass losses, them beatdowns, are going to make a difference.
Yeah.
Which one do you want? I take that.
I'd rather have the games where I've been challenged. The team has been challenged. They've been put in in-game situations where they had to make decisions, whether, some of them are right or some of them are wrong. Either way, they've learned from it. Mm-hmm. And it's going to help them the further you get into the season. So I don't even question Kim, because Kim is her own magic and she does her own thing. And like you said, it works for her. But what I will say, she might not play the games during, non-conference play, but she sure as hell they gonna be battle tested running through that SEC.
Hell yes.
So I'm like, when people bring up LSU doesn't play, I'm like, have you seen what happens in the SEC during conference time? Do you see what happens in the SEC come tournament time? Okay, that might make up for whatever she did in non-conference, because everybody's going to take.
But here's your theory. When UCLA beat South Carolina, I immediately looked at their schedule and I said, "Oh my God, they're going to be number one until they play us."
They didn't play
look, I said until they play us.
Right,
I said it. I wasn't even. They were like, "What? Until they play you?" People, the chat was like, "Till they play you guys."
I said,
"You guys are such and such a size. You guys are 6 now." I said, "I don't care." You don't understand. I told you already. It's the Bloods and the Crips you talking about.
There's 2 comments from, is it
Wasu?
Yeah, Wasu. 2 really great comments. So the UConn part, he's like, he stopped questioning it and asking about the night shift. I get that, but the level of competition has risen so much in women's basketball since then. And so, they barely beat Michigan, and they're all sophomores. Imagine them coming up against a seasoned team with some vets. They almost lost. I mean, if Michigan was a little older, maybe juniors and seniors, because they made a couple little key mistakes that cost them that game. And if they were, a little more basketball wise and experienced, they would have beat UConn. And Tennessee, that second, if you want to know how to beat UConn, watch that UConn
last year
game from Sunday and watch the second quarter. That's how you beat UConn. That is exactly how you.
They were in it
they were in
it the second quarter. I saw that.
But what they do,
and KK was like, you might get a KK that wasn't feeling good and wasn't playing well at all. That's why K9 got a lot of run.
Yeah, but they were also. I will give it to you.
But see, that might happen.
They were also.
That might catch you. What if Sarah Strong's not feeling well? What are you guys going to do?
She is a beast.
What if AZ is not feeling good? That's why I'm saying, it's not so much you have a strong enough bench.
I think
UCLA does. Do you have experienced players that know how to get themselves out of a jam and win when the score, the way that they won that game against Michigan? I literally thought it was Silo went unconscious. When a player starts shooting like that, usually you lose because they're just not like Olivia. Chavez did. Aaliyah Chavez did.
Oklahoma.
The way Carson did in the championship against Iowa. The way AZ Fudd did South Carolina in. I mean,
he's so clinical.
He's so clinical. It's like
clinical.
Irritates me.
It's clinical.
It's so clinical.
Woo! I mean,
she real neat.
What I love about her game and I want to see Jazzy do more of this. And it was like my pet peeve against Iowa. And once she started doing it, her offense started opening up. Use the mid-range. If they giving it to you, take it. Everything does not need to be a drive to the basket. If they are giving you the 12-footer, take it.
Stop. Pull up. That's what and I saw Jazzy do it. And I said, Juju been working with her.
Yeah, it's like
I know the move. She did this move that was nothing but a Juju taught her how to like stop on a dime, dribble over here. Yeah. Boom.
I'm like,
bounce it hard to your hand, spin it, and go.
You start killing folks with mid range. It's gonna open up the lane for you, and you're gonna be able to get to the basket. But if you start getting surgical with a mid range on folks, the guard. Oh my gosh, you are unstoppable.
Because right there, after that first person and then that middle of the court right there, I know we're just talking basketball. Let me read this. But you're absolutely right. Jazzy Davidson with her athleticism and versatility, BKA Batman. Actually, she's robbing Juju's Batman. Basketball utility belt. She does it all. Batman's utility belt is something that she don't got that utility belt yet. But she robbing. She got a little one. She getting it.
She getting there.
She getting there. Well, we got to beat the champ first, guys. Now let them swag on us. Listen, if you're speaking of LSU, I don't know if you know this, and I don't know if you watched South Carolina last night. I love Captain Will. His take was really honest. It was very out of love. This is his team, but here are the things that when he's speaking to his Gamecock people, he's telling them the truth. This loss, and he said, we don't know how long UCLA and we don't know how long Tanaya and they got Maker will be out. But what they did last night was not good. Do you understand who they're playing? Mississippi State got a chick named Madison, young lady named Madison Francis. They are physical. Year, wasn't she? I don't know, but she playing better. And they are so nasty.
She was on the squad when we played them in the tournament. But they're a physical team. Like I told everybody when we played them last year in the tournament.
I don't think they're good, but but this year they look better.
But I told them, I was like, regardless, we should win the game, but we gonna get beat up in the game. I was like, they're a very physical team. But most SEC teams are physical. And, we're always, as a West Coast team and a West Coast school, we always get the short end of the stick because just like in football, carries over into basketball, SEC runs is king. And I think, we see that. We especially saw it last year when you look at how we got seeded.
And I heard somebody made a point to me that ESPN and SEC, they're in each other's backyard. They coincide, so they want to see an SEC team in there.
Well, they always. I mean, if you're talking about,
which is not right because we should not have been in that.
But they're looking at the economy of it. What's going to bring in the ratings? So if you pair, there was a reason why UCLA and LSU had to see each other because they wanted to rematch from the season prior when LSU knocked UCLA out the tournament. So, of course, they wanted to get USC and UConn again, thinking it was going to be JuJu and Paige again.
Well, Paige was about to lose her legacy because Ju was going to have to snatch that chain.
Right, but I'm just saying they're intentionally.
That's dumb. That was going to be the most watched game.
They're intentionally setting the brackets up in order to facilitate these matchups that they know are going to get the ratings that they're trying to capture. Right. When, SC and UConn shouldn't be matching up with each other until the Final Four. Those are the type of Final Four going into the last, 4 games that you want to see.
Are you saying traditionally before this year, Be Will this year they had 3 NCAA football champs or Big Ten, or just in general? The Big Ten, he's saying the Big Ten had 3 NCAA football champs.
Yeah, no, but with you, I completely agree.
How many are in the others?
I'm not arguing that.
It used to be SEC, Georgia, Texas.
Yeah, I'm not. But
Texas was big.
If you look at the makeup of how the NCAA runs, and if you look historically, as far as especially in football, it's they want the Alabamas, they want Auburn's. It's a certain people that they know are not only going to watch, but also are going to hit their fan base is going to.
So are you actually, what's up? CC, if you're up to coming up, you're welcome to come up. But are you saying that? Are you saying? Are we just speaking in conspiracy right now when we're saying that, or because
it's complete speculation?
Speculation.
It's speculation.
Or why we were putting that nasty. Like, I just don't get that.
These are just my opinions, but this is business. It's sports and we love it. But when you start talking about network and broadcast, they're trying to make money, and so they're going to look at things in a manner in some aspects. Okay, where are we going to get the ratings? Which games are going to bring us the ratings? Which matchups are going to bring us the ratings? I think all of that plays a part. It's not just based off of, this team's record. Like, they are taking other things into consideration.
Hey, I want to stop right here. And I want to welcome somebody that I really respect and admire. She is the USC Trojan Wire media of Trojan women's basketball. And I'm honored to have her here today, right now. Surprised to me. She also has USC Let's Talk USC women's basketball. So whenever I mention on the show CC Clay, or I've heard something that she's mentioned, I try to remember always to direct it to her. Even though the people who taught me was like, don't mention other stations. And I'm like, I don't know what the rules are, but hey, here it is. So I want to welcome CC Clay. I'm honored to have her come up. CC, welcome. What's going on?
How What's happening? Hey, there's an echo, so I'm feeling.
Okay, let me mute yourself, LDR. But sure. I'm glad you came.
Yeah,
CC, chat. I don't know if CC has anything she wants to add, but chat. Any question about USC? You know how y'all be challenging me, not you guys particularly, but others who watch, and some of the things you say about my coach or our team and things like that, or you just wonder, like, hey, you asked me a question, do you think we'll make the tournament? Like, there were some questions like that came up, CC, like, what are our chances? If you would like to discuss that or anything you want to discuss. Uh-oh. I think you froze. Darn it. You like watching that? Be Will watches your show, CC. CC, you froze. I can't hear you. If you want to go in and come back, it's cool. Yeah, I hope she comes back. I don't know what the connection was with that. Have you watched the show before, Be Will? I think Kyrie knows.
Cool Water just put in a
she's nice, probably got to just come back in.
A comment. I think that you should we could maybe talk about it in the meantime until Miss C pops in.
You have a question? Do you see anything in the chat you want to address?
Yeah, Cool Water Swish RC about asking if I thought Cara Dunn is a first round draft talent.
First round? Okay, yeah. Hold that thought. Because I'm gonna tell you something. Now CC loves some Cara Dunn. She could go on. She is the first person that I heard go on and on about Cara. She spotted Cara's ability way before I knew what she did at Georgia Tech, but I didn't know. But yeah, that was a question in the chat. Do you think Cara could go first round? CC, can you hear us?
I can hear you, but it's like a double. Like I'm on
twice.
Yeah.
Okay, let me turn my mic. Turn your mic down. Oh.
Yeah.
That better?
Hello?
We can hear you.
Okay, cool. I can hear you guys now. Was there still an echo? Like I can hear you double. Like you'll say hello.
Your TV is off. Your phone is off.
Yeah.
You don't have nothing behind the screen, like on twice.
Yeah.
I think somebody told me that happened to them. They were on, I don't know, on twice.
Nope.
And your headphones. I wonder why it's doing that for you.
Mm-hmm. There's two screens, though. There's like one screen with everybody, and then there's another one. Like
the
screen and a.
That's StreamYard has a way that people on the phone can watch.
Yeah.
You can hide that.
Yeah.
But go ahead if you can, and if you can try to ignore that.
Yeah, I hit it, but I can't. I got to get up because it's coming in distorted. I wanted to chat to you guys because there's like double talking. So when I'm talking, you're talking.
Oh, I see. She got the YouTube on. Turn the YouTube off.
Turn the YouTube off.
Yeah, you have YouTube on at the same time, or turn it down because it's a delay on YouTube. If you were watching it on your desktop,
okay,
and then stream right, turn YouTube
there you
off.
Go. Okay, got it.
Okay, got it.
What's up?
And then I was just going on and on about who you were. And some people said they watched and love you. And then I was saying how we met, how I found your show. And really, like, you are the wisdom, you're the expert for women's media for the show. You do a whole lot. But I want to give you that platform to talk about. But there was also questions sometimes that I do my best to answer that maybe you have a different talk or same take. But somebody did throw in one. And I said, you were the first that, for me, that talked up Kara Dunn from day one. And they asked me, Julie, do you think that Kara can go first round? I was like, I'm biased. So I'm going to say, I'll put her in there.
Yeah. When you look at Kara Dunn's numbers and what she's done, especially in the last 6 games, there hasn't been a guard her size that has done that. I mean, there was a stat on that came across X that she's leading the CBB in small forward or small guard post up plays, right? Post points. She is strong. She's athletic. She reminds me of a Jackie Young. When she was actually on my show, and she said that her favorite player is Nafisa Collier. So she wants to be kind of like Nafisa Collier, but she actually reminds me more of a Jackie Young. And I think that she can absolutely be better than Jackie Young. She's very talented. And could she go late first round? I think so. If she keeps building her resume and doing the things that she's doing right now, I absolutely believe, with the knowledge that these WNBA teams have of Lindsay Gottlieb, getting these players pro ready and understanding, offensives and terminology in the W, she can absolutely go the first round, in my opinion. But the reason why I wanted to jump on is you guys were talking about the whole SEC ESPN makeup, and I just wanted to chime in here because of the media rights deal with ESPN and SEC. ESPN is always going to push SEC in the forefront because of the media deal and the money. Just like you said, it's all about money. I don't care if the SEC is the worst conference out of all the Big Four. Because of that media rights deal and their partnership, ESPN is going to push SEC. That's why Dawn Staley gets all the attention that she gets. That's why other teams that aren't even as good get the attention that they get. It's because of the media rights deal that they have. And even the ACC. The ACC and ESPN have a partnership too. It's all about money. It's all about economics. And, the chairperson of the NCAA selection committee last year was affiliated with the SEC. Now, I'm not saying there was anything illegally done or anything like that, but I'm just saying, if you're ESPN and a lot of your games are going to be on ESPN, your projection is that you want more SEC teams in the tournament and winning games, because that means more money for you in your pocket. And so that's how it works. In my opinion, it's political. People can agree with me, disagree with me, but I'm standing on that. And that's what I truly believe.
I 100% agree with you as someone who has worked in media pretty much my entire career, and I understand how the game is played. And, you guys, a lot of people think it's just about the product you put on the floor. There's politics all in throughout sports, like politics are in everything else. So, yeah, yep. ESPN has the has the SEC network. They have the ACC network, and those are all, both channels are ESPN channels. So, yeah. I appreciate you coming on to confirm for what I knew to be true, but for the audience and the people who are on, to kind of give them an understanding, because a lot of people, of course, don't see what happens behind the curtain.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what I wanted to chime in on, because that's a big deal to me. Because even when you're watching ESPN games, and even when they're on Sunday and it's an SEC team that's on ESPN, during halftime they never cover what's going on in the Big Ten or any other conference. They're always giving the scores of the SEC games going on, but could be a lot of other big games going on. The only other team that they may mention is UConn, and that's because they're ranked number 1. But other than that, you won't see them at halftime cover any other scores or anything on that could be good and interesting to all of us. You know what I mean? So I really wanted to jump in and chime on. I got a few more minutes, and then I actually have to be on another podcast at 5:00. So, yeah.
But I'm glad you came, because that really has been on my heart. Like, what is that? Like, and when you said that, I had heard that before LDR, but it made sense, but I wasn't quite sure. So I'm really happy that you did that. We want to answer questions. There's so many. You want to take a shot at this, Cece? Coolwater. There was one that Coolwater had. Yeah, but it says Olivia Mouse. Yeah. Out of Olivia Mouse, Cara Dunn, Kiki Rice, Toni Morgan, Raven Johnson, which would everyone draft first, and why?
Well, I think they're all different types of players. You know, it's the need of the team. You know what I mean? So Olivia Miles is a pass first guard.
We'll do this. Go with the mock right now. Who has the number one pick? It's Dallas.
You forgot another guard. I know she gets.
He didn't say AZ.
Well, no, there's another good point guard, because this is kind of like guard that I think gets left out, but because of her size. But I think she, is a great two-way guard. Is Harmon.
Rory Harmon.
Yeah, Texas.
Okay. And so if she's right, because that's how I think, like Cece thinks, which is
I think like
it depends on the fit.
Yeah,
but we're gonna have to go with, according to your question, RC, it's not just about who's the number one draft by just analytics, stats, eye test. No. It's all about who fits. Now, me and B Will got into discussion last night about who was better between Kiki and Raven, but it just depends on what you need. And I was just trying to break down their different specifics and things like that. But
Raven and Kiki
Rice and Raven. God.
Look.
No, I want to hear what I mean. If I'm wrong, I want to hear.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I just think the comparison thing is funny to me, because again, they're two totally different players, right?
No, but they wanted to talk about it.
Raven Johnson is not a scorer. Kiki Rice can score. Raven Johnson is to me a much better defender than Kiki Rice, right? Raven Johnson's total mentality is pass first. Now, Kiki's going to pass, but if she has the opportunity to go downhill, she's going to go downhill. She's gotten a lot better at her mid-range and her three-point shots, but two totally different players in my opinion.
So who would a WNBA team choose before, no matter where it is inside of just in general, like if I had to rate them, one, coming out as a guard in college, I do not have Raven above her. I've seen a lot of the Raven can do. I think she could be even different out of that system that she's in, but
you have Kiki above Raven? You have Kiki above Raven?
I have Kiki above slightly Raven because of what Cece said.
Okay, but when you look at
I have Raven.
When you look at the board, right? When you look at the board, and then when you look at the teams and what.
No, take the board off, because that's when you look at the team. Then I had to
okay.
I'm not putting Raven in Minnesota. I would put Kiki if I had to.
All right, let me say this, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of haters here, but Dawn Staley does not prioritize her guard play over her post play. She's a post first coach.
100%.
And so she doesn't allow her guards to play to the full ability and exercise their complete talent that they have. They are there to fill a specific role. And if they go beyond that role, they're going to be on the bench. So Raven's role right now is defensive player. I think that she can do a lot more. I think that she can go downhill. I think that she can attack. I think that she can shoot. I think she has been limited because of the coaching style and the system that Dawn has in play. So when you're talking about Raven and Kiki, I'm going to put Raven over Kiki, because I just don't believe that people have been able to see the full game of
exactly
Raven.
But okay.
CC,
1,000% agree.
1,000 beyond infinity and beyond agree with you.
But that's why 1,000%
and there's a reason why Dawn's guards have not been successful in the league.
Right.
Yes.
I think that plays a big factor in it. And it's another reason why their teams are struggling right now, because You don't have big post players like Cardoso and AB anymore. And she's now trying to figure it out with an athletic big, but it's not size. And then your guard play is basically what's been carrying you. But if your guards aren't hitting, they don't win. If Raven doesn't have a good game, if what's my girl? Tessa doesn't have a good, Trench Baby Tess, as she likes to call herself. If she's not having a good game, like they struggle when their guards don't play well and they cannot get out in transition. So I 100% agree with you. You're not catching any flack from me on any of that because I agree. And I'm definitely taking Raven over Kiki. Kiki cannot.
But again, LDR. Here's the thing, LDR. I hear you, but how many of these GMs and people that make the decisions in the W are really, really catching things other than a highlight of these players or what they've heard or what they've seen? Because I still got nightmares of Angel going 7th in that draft. I just like, you heard this about her, you heard that, or you saw this, or you saw that. But as a
you talking about Angel Reese?
Angel gonna catch flag.
I think she should have gone higher.
It's like the flag Shador caught, which is BS. Is the same type of flag Angel's gonna catch.
But I mean, did you watch her play?
But Angel's offensive
spot for her?
Look,
but Angel to me is never
Peely. You chose Peely over her.
No.
Angel has the ability to be like the Dennis Rodman of women's professional.
But why didn't Cheryl Reeves know that?
And that's how I've always looked at Angel's game.
Why didn't Cheryl Reeves know that, LDR? And how they may miss that about Raven? What all of us I agree with. I think they're lazy in what their analysis, their research, their whatever.
They are.
And I think they rely too much now, as every other sport now does, on analytics. Use your eyes. Use the eye test.
Hey, wait a minute. Hold up. I'm all about that's my show. My show is analytics. Don't be attacking me now because I base everything off analytics. Numbers say a lot.
No, and I'm not disputing that they don't. They are important, but I think too much is put into it that, to your point, people have become lazy and they don't trust what they see with their eye, or they're not watching film. They're not really watching people's games. They're just looking at stats and numbers. And we know, as people who've played the game, followed the game, everything does not always show up on a stat sheet of what a player is going to bring to your team. And you're looking at things as far as who's going to fit into your system, who's going to fit into your system. Will this person play well in my system? But I think the laziness, analytics has contributed to the laziness.
Hey, just real quick, B. Will, I have an answer for you. Alicia Gray transferred into South Carolina. She was already that girl when she got to South Carolina.
Pow did too.
Pow already transferred in. She was already that girl. Dawn didn't develop those two. Ty and Tiffany Mitchell probably are the only two.
Tiffany was there.
Yeah, Ty and Tiffany Mitchell were the only two guards there. But Ty is sitting. She got hurt last year, but she's never been a real productive guard like other guards in the W have been. So I'm still on that horse about Dawn Staley wasting talent in her guard play because she relies so highly on her post guards. On that note, hey, you guys, I got to check out. I got to get ready for this podcast.
It's a pleasure.
Check me out, USC Women's Basketball Media Lab on YouTube. Check out the website. I take photography every USC game. Go check out the photos on there and also sign up for the blog. Thanks for letting me come on board. Whenever I get a chance, I'm on. I can jump on if I'm in front of my computer. So peace out, you guys. Fight on.
Right.
Take care.
Fight on. Take care. That was a pleasure. That was really nice. It's a good sign, LDR, that you're my muse right now. Like,
well, you know what I think is ironic. I always find the irony and the humor in things is with Dawn, how she is so constrictive of her guards when her play was anything but that when she played. So the fact that is how she,
coaches
her guards.
It's weird.
It's just the irony of it is never lost on me, and how the issues with Fawiley last year, when some of the things Fawiley did on the court were things that Dawn used to do or would do or would think to do. So it's just that irony is never lost on me.
I have to agree because Dawn was like, shoot first. I'm taking this. We're not doing enough. I gotta go. We're not gonna make it to the Final Four as many times, or even the championship game. But Dawn wasn't enough to win the championship.
No, not at all.
And I'm sure that always haunted her, because it haunted me for a long time watching her struggle to get that. And I get now why Iowa fans feel the way they do, because it is frustrating that your great didn't win it all. But it's not going to take away from Dawn's greatness, but she's not at all. I mean,
Dawn is known more now as a coach than she ever was as a player.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's to say a lot, because she carried the flag out in the Olympics. So
right.
But at the same time,
several Olympic goals as a player, has won them as a coach, but she is known more. I feel like she's known more now for what she has done at South Carolina than she is for her playing career.
Yeah. I can't deny that. And people like Will throw out a bunch of names. Well, you could throw out a bunch of guards, but you know the drill. You know what we're saying. Like her, she'll have 2 MVP. Maybe Boston could. I think Boston could one day get an MVP, but Asia is dominating right now because she comes out of South Carolina. That's her pride and joy. That's her bread and butter that she'll stand on. But against UConn, who's had how many?
So it's a lot of players that didn't come through UConn. It's like naming the players that came out of Tennessee, and in some ways, it's
Tennessee.
No, but I'm saying,
yes,
it's that same thing. But for a lot of people who are just coming in, or they just see clips, and all they might know is the players that have come out of UConn. But the players that have come out of Tennessee, and I'm not even talking about just like Candaces of the world.
Hold it down for a second. My dog is tripping. Hold on.
Okay.
You keep going. You hold it down. Just keep.
Okay. Yeah. It's like, a lot of people just kind of reference the players that have come through UConn, which, I mean, it's plentiful, but it's like that same level out of players that have come out of Tennessee that have, left their mark on women's basketball. So it's always interesting to me at this point. It's February February, it all becomes real. It's either put up or shut up, because you have to go into February knowing that you need your team, as a coach, you need your team to be functioning on a certain level. They need to be basically like it's the hum. Everything is humming and everything is running smooth. I don't know how many of you guys are car people, but you know how when you see a Cadillac and it's driving and you see it on the freeway and it just has that little steady bounce as it's moving. That's kind of where you need your team to be as you get into February, leading into March, when you start playing your tournament championships, and then going into the actual, March Madness. And it's going to be interesting. I think SC, if they put together a really good month, they can go into the tournament and they could surprise some people. But if they do not put it together, and everyone's, there's no more waiting for players to buy in. Everybody should be bought in by now. And if they, play like they played against Iowa last week on Thursday, then they can go in the tournament and shock some people. But they need to have that level of consistency. They need to, offensive efficiency, which has been a struggle for them all season. Coaching staff needs to incorporate the press more and press defenders. I think all of that will come into play. So I just hope I'm ready to see a really good month of February of ball from them. And
for the Trojans, right?
Yeah, yes, and it starts on Thursday. How they play against Northwestern, how they handle these 2 road games, because they're two road games, Northwestern and Illinois, and so how they go into that and how they play, how they adjust. All of that is going to come into play.
And 1000%. It's exciting because we're in a position of momentum. We're on the radar and we got recognition. Let me shout out Jazzy for getting Freshman of the Week in the Big Ten. Freshman of the Week, I believe, nationally. as well as Kara Dunn,
player
of the week. Was it Big Ten or nationally?
Big Ten.
For the Big Ten. These are steps that show us, that we can, I believe, like the 7th seed for sure. Of course, I want to be 5 or 6, but I want to be ready if we go 5 or 6 seed. I want to be ready. And I want to win out on the first 2 rounds, and that's going to take what you said earlier, defense. Defense. With our defense, the question is, for people that are in that need to get the at-large bid, right, where you don't have to play those games to get to that. For those that don't know, you have to, when you're in those first and second rounds, you have to be ready to battle your way through that, because that's an accomplishment to be in a Sweet 16. That's without a JuJu.
And the beautiful thing about this for them this year, there's really no pressure, because no one's expecting them to do anything without JuJu. So you can go into it with no pressure, because there's no high expectation, because everybody's like, y'all don't have JuJu.
But then why do they go back and forth to tell me, but you're talented even without JuJu? Now, if we're losing, it's coach's fault. When we're winning, the coach doesn't get she don't get the recognition where we're winning now.
The pressure, like, I feel like that at this point, once we
can't win,
you can't win for losing. It's it's just the nature of the beast, and we're in the second largest media market in the world, so of course it's LA. We used, as a city, we used to having haters. That's the norm. I mean, that's the norm. People gonna hate on us just because everybody want to be what they can't. But that's neither here nor there. But I just feel like they should be able to be a little looser. Like no one is expecting this team to go win a national championship without JuJu, right? No one's expecting them to be a Final Four team or even an Elite 8.
Which I felt like we could, but go ahead.
Yeah, like no one's expecting.
I was not believing in the middle bunch. If they really wanted to, I was not believing in the middle bunch. I've seen in person 1, 2, 3, 4, except for Texas. But I was, and LSU, but I was like, we'll probably need monster games, but I was like,
but that's what I'm saying. Like, I
don't see why not.
I want them to feel a little, as players, you play better when you're tight. You make mistakes and you're in your head. Just go out there and do what it is you do.
That's what I was thinking when I saw it.
Like, there's no pressure. This is not like last year when everybody was like,
It's a lot of pressure.
It was a lot of pressure.
And I think Kiki felt it to play with the great JuJu Watkins, and you're supposed to do this, and you're supposed to help her do that, like you said, and others. It's probably pressure, because we're looking at you like, I thought she was number 1 portal in the country.
Oh, it was a lot of pressure on Kiki last year.
It's a lot to play with a superstar. Honestly, not her personally, though.
Yeah, but quite honestly, I didn't see the Kiki I wanted to see until she went to the Mystics. And I was like, that's everything I was wanted you to do last season. Like the Kiki, I was like, you need to do, why is she doing?
But towards the end of the W, she went back to old habits.
Hit the post, like, what are you doing? She get to the Mystics, she doing a drop down spin. I'm like, where was this last year? Where was this?
And don't blame coach told you not to do that.
Where was this in March? Where was this in February? Where was this in January?
Great question. Let's answer this for B. Will.
That's a good question.
It's not impossible. I mean,
I think they're still trying to figure out. I think it's different every game. I don't think there's a true, like,
I think it's Kennedy.
If you're looking for a vocal leader, like,
right, what kind of leader? Vocal leader.
If you're looking for the vocal leader, you're looking for the example leader. Like, when it's time to get in the huddle, they're bringing them in, they're giving direction.
And when I seen in the huddle last year, you probably saw too. watch who's talking in there. Jazzy. She got her voice has been unlocked. And where you and I sit at Galen, and I know I'm in section 100, and I've been on court side.
Yeah,
they do their best basketball when I see them talking on defense and offense, and I can hear them.
Yeah, I mean, but that's with anything. I think, you know, the more you can.
But then, they were quiet because we didn't have no Mackenzie Forbes. So who was it last year?
Oh, I miss Mackenzie. I love Mackenzie.
Mackenzie was the.
That's what I say.
Ju was like, sometimes she was like, okay, you said it already. I got you. Let me think. I'm going to shoot a free throw.
I will never stop saying how special that team was that freshman year. JuJu's freshman year. That was a special team.
She learned a lot. And now that she looks back, she know that Rhea was also a bomb too, especially on defense. Like she could be in a center, which I played because school didn't have tall kids in my 9th grade year, but you can see everything. You're like the quarterback. You're helping the guards, and everybody know where to go. And that's what we needed. But Avery was a big vocal leader. She was an alpha leader last year. But I see them all communicating and talking. I'm seeing Kara, and I think that came with what you were saying, with time, getting to know each other, comfortable with each other. I can't talk. I'm sure they know you can't talk to this person like you can talk to this person.
Well, I also see London doing it. I see London talking a lot more too. I mean,
you see London? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's I call London Doc Holliday. That's Doc Holliday to me. Because she gonna shoot that shot like it's a 6-shooter. She gonna let that thing go and ask questions later. She London gonna pop that.
You already know it, and you can tell when London is about to wind up. I'll be sitting there like, no, slow it down. I already know because she about to take this little skip thing, and I'm like, no.
I'll be like, oh, here we go.
I know what you're thinking.
Doc Holliday about to.
But she damn sure be looking at you like, but the next time it touch my hand.
That's Doc Holliday. She goes 6-shooter. 6-shooter.
So that's the answer to the who's the leader on the floor. It's pretty much collective thing, but I think for sure.
But that's how they're gonna have to win. And I've said that all season. It's not gonna be one person. Like for them to win in advance, they're going to have to win collectively as a group. It's gonna have to be a collective effort. It's not gonna be one person, one player heroics, one person putting up 45. Like, no, like they literally,
which is better. It's better not to have one person putting up 45.
Yeah, but you know what? It's gonna help them next year.
Yeah.
Once
that ball it's gonna be a magnet to each other. The scores that they have out of Sanaya, Jazz, Ken, Ju is gonna be. You are gonna see Showtime. Lakers.
Well, yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see who's gonna still be there that's currently there and who's not, based on these new All-Americans, this new class coming in. Who's gonna stay? Who's gonna hit the transfer portal? It's gonna be interesting to see how Kennedy's role is gonna play in this, with now having her, JuJu.
I think that's why you see Ken Dog handling the ball more. Dribbling has improved. She dribbles way more than up the court and handles the offense more so. She always can do that. You're going to see just how that works. Even you may get a taste of what Sanaya for sure going to do, what you said, post up. She's already been talking about that, focusing on learning, being uncomfortable, like learning new things. That's what Kara came. I want to be uncomfortable with the uncomfortable. I want to learn new things. And that's why you saw Kiki transfer over into the W so well, because she was uncomfortable with some of the things Coach G was putting on her. But Coach G is like, okay, I want two things. You give this transactional. You do this for me. I'm going to do this for you. I'm also keeping in mind your goal is to go to the WNBA. So are you ready? Are you ready? And, some things are going to be uncomfortable for you to do, but you're going to be a much more value in the W. This way, Kiki, you can play a 5 in a W. You can do a 4 at times. You stepped out, shot middies and 3s. Hannah Stokey would love to have what you have.
Yeah, if you go big lineup, you could even put her at the 3 if you want to. If you go big lineup,
yeah, they all can play many different positions, But sometimes, because the ball travels faster than a dribbler or a runner, that's what I say is Trojan basketball. We don't take more than 2 dribbles, none if you can. That's why UConn is so good. Have you ever seen UConn when they score and nobody dribble?
No, it's pass. The pass goes, passing the ball is way faster than anybody dribbling. And that's why they always tell you, passing, don't dribble through a press. Pass the ball. That's what breaks the press. Passing the ball. Advance the ball. Pass the ball. That's what breaks the press. That's what shifts the defense. Passing the ball.
And passing the ball against the zone shifts the zone.
Exactly.
And when you do it well enough and you shift that zone, especially when it goes deep in the corner and the zone has to kind of like adjust, a lot of people aren't able to, and don't do the skip with an elevator screen. I'm talking too much basketball right now, but that's how clinical, that's how smart, they are.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to play people like that, where you're just constantly like fighting over the screen. And then she skipped. This she didn't even screen. We did a slip. You see Kara slip? She did like she was going to scream, but she slipped.
Yeah.
That's how I knew you guys are starting to understand.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're now understanding
Trojan basketball.
The options are. If this happens, it's chess. So if they counter with this, you can counter with this, or this. You just have to take what the defense dictates, and that's how you make the decision. Yeah. And so, when you talk about with zones and breaking zones, like passing shifts the defense. You're going to find a collapse in the defense, and the shot you're usually going to get is a mid-range shot, or you're going to get somebody wide open in the corner.
You know who eats that up is Kara Dunn.
Yeah.
And that's a one-on-one, and she tears it up.
Mm-hmm.
She even got that shot in the middle of the key. She just turned around and said, "Turn around, jumper." And I was like,
that's there every game if she wants it. That's been there every game if she wants it. It's there. That's why I get frustrated.
But sometimes you're getting frustrated. But you say it's there, but don't you see our front line who Gerda and Viv?
I'm not giving.
They gotta move.
I'm not giving Greta the ball to shoot.
I know, but she has to move because she's in the way when she's trying to occupy that.
The bigs I have noticed that they're still, and once I looked it up, they're still very young.
Yeah.
All of our bigs are still very young. And it shows. And it's like, okay, they don't understand this part of it yet. Even when they're like running the break, I'm like, why are you running in a lane that she's gonna feel? Like, get out the way. Like, you're in the way. You're slowing this down. I want you on the trail. Greta, you don't need to be filling the lane on the break. You come on the trail.
Well, they're running right next to the person with the ball. And I'm like, what are you doing? Stop.
Mendez and Laura and Vivian can fill those lanes right there. Greta, you come back on here. Don't shoot it. If I pass it to you on the trail, your job is to swing it to the other side. It wasn't just her
that was running next to the ball.
Yes.
But I get you. I was like, don't we learn this? Like, okay, never mind.
No, we learned that in 6th grade.
Okay.
No, you're not wrong in that thought.
Then you feel that person was okay. Right.
Yeah, and see, they better than me because as a point guard, I'd be like, get out the way. I would have yelled at move. I would have done one of these. Clear out. Like, what are you doing? Move.
I have to laugh at my girl. They're funny to me sometimes. I'm like, wow, okay.
Greta got to develop a 12-footer, 12 to 15-footer. She has to be able
she got that.
She has to be able to develop that. She has to be able to hit that shot because it's there, but she just doesn't have that shot yet.
When my shot started falling and became pure, it was because I had a male on the boys team, or I don't remember what male it was, told me, if anything, practice your free throws, because the motion and the follow through of a 16-footer is similar to every shot you're going to take. And if the only you can do is just shoot free throws, do free throws, hundreds, as many as you can. And when I did it, my core muscle, the muscle memory, the follow through, I used the same thing, maybe just leaving my feet out anywhere on the court that I just did from the free throw line. Not only did I just cover 2 birds with 1 stone, I improved in my free throw percentage that season. I improved in my shooting percentage that season, all because of free throws. I'm much disappointed in our free throw percentage because I feel like that can come back and haunt you. I remember.
Oh, very much so.
But you can still win. I remember UConn. It was the ugliest game before they played JuJu and them, JuJu's freshman year, and it was against Duke, and they doggone there lost because of the free throw. I mean, Duke was on them so tough, and it was so sloppy and everything, and they kept getting the calls. They go to the line and they would miss and everything, and the game went longer than it should have because
if you miss 10 free throws and you lose by 2.
You're gonna be like kicking yourself.
Like I had a coach used to say, "Make your free throws; they're free
all the time. Everybody know it. It's free."
But I think it's also
mental. Yeah.
Yes, they're very much a mental thing. It's a mental thing because you have to, calm yourself down. You've been going at warp speed. It's it's very much a mental thing. So
sure.
I get how some people can struggle with it, and especially.
I mean, yeah, you can miss a couple. I mean, maybe 1 or 2, but for some people, it's a difference of you averaging 10 points, 12 points, little things like that. Just confidence, just seeing the ball go through. Yep. It's and then, like you said, you don't want to lose. And we have this year, we have lost some real close ones. I'm not going to blame free throw shooting, but we nearly didn't get out of North Carolina State. Because that's what at the time I had only known Malia to shoot 85%, but somebody was like, Julie, she didn't play as much as she's playing now. So we didn't know that she wasn't truly an 85% shooter. She's much lower than that because she missed those last 2 Ian when she did the steal from Zoe or Zam, one of the guards, and got the foul, got to the line. I was like, okay, it's over. And when she missed, I was like, oh. I'm sorry. I don't recognize these girls. So everything like that we gotta clean up. So
we just gotta take the screwdriver and tighten up some screws and lubricate some other ones.
Mike, did you want to come up and say anything before I close out? And this is LDR. I think I told you that I was going to have someone coming up, and you're welcome. You have the link. If you want to add to anything, you're more than welcome. But it's been great. I loved it. I don't want to hold you all much longer. But
can I shoot out my handles to your audience to give me a follow?
Yes, you are going to do that, and you're also going to come back on Thursday, aren't you?
Yeah, I can come back.
We're gonna no, because here's the thing.
We're gonna do it before or after the game.
See, that's the thing. Most people don't do they like to watch the game. Not a lot of talking. I get it. So we'll figure that out. However you want to do it, I look forward to you coming in, halftime, coming in the beginning, coming in and then leaving in halftime. However you want, just feel comfortable because I always have to go back and watch the game because I'm so busy having to read the chat that I missed the game. But you can chill and watch the game and then hear something in here and then comment. Well, we don't talk this continuously. Don't worry about it. Okay. So so be welcome for that. So I'm gonna leave this for you and then I'm gonna close.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I like your followers. Very informative. They ask great questions. It was very cool to have Miss C pop on. I've seen, her videos and seen, her pop up in my feed. So to be able to interact with her for the first time, I think that was great. And I think the three of us had great dialogue together, talking about everything. And so if you guys, like what you hear, from me, I would definitely appreciate it. You can follow me. My handle is up. This is LDR. That's my handle across IG, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. That's the handle across everything.
Yeah, for sure. And hopefully you create you a YouTube, and then you'll be here with me and showing to your people, and your people be my people become your people. I have no problem.
Family and community.
But yeah, I enjoyed it for sure. And I again, this is really, really exciting for me, and it actually opens it up for me to interact with someone and have some of these type of discussions. And I'll try to come up with, topics and things like this that are trending that we as Trojan family, and as we get, go along, others will get to know more about you, and who you are, and things that you and I've been talking, shooting stuff about, that are things that we can talk about here. No, I was kidding. But yeah, Washu, all of you, Washu, RCB, Will, Mike, Miss D, Chicago, still Legacy, join Legacy. You're a new name I hadn't seen before. Hit that subscribe button before you leave. Hit that like button, follow. Don't forget to hit the notification, and I'll see you Thursday or sooner. Peace.